During the summer of 2007, two members of the Holmes Museum of Anthropology at Wichita State University, Wichita, Kansas, traveled to the Asmat region of New Guinea to record the making of an omu. The omu is an important Asmat ritual object that is considered part of the J, or men's house. This film shows the carving of an omu. The omu represents an element of Asmat myth. In the beginning, there were two major clans. A spirit told the carvers to make omus in order to bring fertility and ward off illness. These were father and son omus, with the bottom of the tree being the father and the top being the son. When we came to the village of Papis to film the carving of an omu, we knew that the carving would be a sensitive matter. We were commissioning the carving of a sacred object. It was important to us that we would not cause the Asmat any problems by requesting the carving. We went to the men's house and made a speech that described our intentions. We wished to film the carving of an omu as it is traditionally done. We described the Holmes Museum, what it does, and the importance it places on educating students about other cultures. The omus are named for powerful war chiefs that have died in the past. Men and women come to the feast house after the omus are completed so that they may touch them, thus ensuring their fertility. They are placed in the rafters of the longhouse and given food and water, and are handled very carefully so that the spirits in the omus will not escape and cause trouble in the village. Traditionally, after the omu had been created and brought to life in the feast house, the Asmat would move their village to a new area. The omu was placed in a hole in the ground so it would not wander off and cause people problems. Since the Asmat now live in permanent villages, they burn down their feast house so that problems will not occur. The Asmat sometimes sell the omus, since tourists to the area are interested in buying Asmat art. Usually they make carvings for sale that look like omus but are stylistically different enough that they are not considered spiritual beings like traditional omus. The Asmat accept the sale of the omu instead of destroying it, since tourists will take the object far away, where it cannot cause problems for the Asmat. Our request to film the making of an omu was discussed with all who would participate before a decision was made. Once the people in the village were in agreement that the film would be a good thing, then the Asmat threw themselves into the project. They showed us the piwa, a device similar to a bull roar that was attached to a piece of twine and swung in a circle to produce a sound. They used this along with a small reed flute called a dor-o-ovo when they cut down a tree. The sounds made by these instruments draw the spirits into the wood, which will become their bodies. The tree used for the omus is called tenon in the local dialect. While we were collecting information on the omu the day before, a couple of Asmat men scattered out an appropriate tree to use. Two trees were cut down because vines had grown between the two, and that for both trees to fall safely, they must fall together. The Asmat are very skilled in such matters.
Coming down here. No, it's going straight.
After the tree that will provide the omu has been cut down, two sections are cut from the tree. These will form the omus. The omu is always produced in pairs. One is an older brother and one is a younger brother. Both omus must be from the same tree. The section that comes from the bottom of the tree will become the older brother omu, and the part from above it will become the younger brother. The men of Papis informed us that they used to make father and son omus, but now they make ones which are brothers. The men from Pupis told us that the omu must come from a single tree. We had heard that some villages will use 2 trees, but these Asmat informed us that the proper way required that the omus come from 1 tree.
Try not to squish 'em
Filming
on
in the jungle was difficult at times. A large cockroach crawled inside the lens hood of our camera and across the lens. The jungle where the Asmat took the tree for the omu was very humid. As the sun came out, the temperature changes caused our camera to temporarily fog up from the moisture.
Yeah.
The outer bark is removed from the tree, and then excess wood is removed to make the wood easier to carry to the men's house. This is where the carving will be finished.
If we want these or not, we already have them made by hand. We certainly would like, we want to try to find about some
While they worked on removing excess wood and bark from the omu trees, an Asmat gentleman showed us how a piwa is made.
It's a pea.
Oh, Papa.
Bagus.
Jalan saja. Jangan mana ambara mas mamse na. Jangan mas anja.
Once the omus have been carved into the rough shapes, they are taken back to the men's house where the carving will be finished. The men are careful to let none from the village see them returning with these rough omus.